Good afternoon. A difficult session to start, we all know, but as rightly pointed out, I think this is also a food for thought. So let's begin by talking about something about which you have been discussing from the morning. And being from Indian Oil, you must be aware, Indian Oil is basically somebody or some company, basically like whoever, whenever you see somebody in Indian Oil, a person or a petrol pump, you know what? It's basically talking about fuels. But that's not it. We are into lubricants business also, and Servo brand is one of the India's leading brand in industrial and automotive sector. So today we are here to in sort of discuss the issues being faced by the off-highway equipment OEMs and the sector in general. What is the biggest concern today? One of the biggest concern as a fuel seller is environment. So we are facing environment, or we are facing a challenge where the environment has to be also kept in mind. How do we reduce carbon dioxide footprints, or carbon footprints? How do we reduce the particulate matters? How do we reduce the NOx values and all those things? We feel what is perhaps needed today is to focus and show enough sensitivity towards these challenges, and it has to be done by all stakeholders, including companies like Indian Oil, which are selling fuels, which you are burning across in the mining and construction activity. But I can say with a lot of pride and confidence that our company is taking all steps possible to help our customers, sort of reduce the carbon footprints, and also we are building necessary infrastructure to make the products and services for such things available across the country. So I will share with you two updates limiting to this related subject. One will be on the DEF, or AdBlue as many people know, that is which we call as diesel exhaust fluid. And as the topic mentioned was the fuel efficient hydraulic oil. Now, to start with, the first point would be, you all have been hearing hydraulic oil. Hydraulics are used everywhere, but I am particularly going to be focusing on the shovel or the excavator segment, which are widely the areas where these type of hydraulic oils actually do a lot of work, and it is the place where we have actually worked on. See, when we talk about fuel efficiency, we are going to finally talk about the mass of the material moved by your equipment per liter of diesel consumed. It is not kitna deti hai. It is not that. It is not engine, where we are going to talk about the kilometers which it gives. Here we are going to talk about the mass of the goods which are moved, or the material moved per liter of diesel consumed. So that is the reason we call it fuel efficiency. Now, our approach is like, in a sense, very holistic. We talk about fuel economy sometimes when we deal with particular engines, and your equipments do have a lot of engines also. We talk about drain interval extension, which therefore reduces your downtime, it reduces your cost and all those things. We talk about productivity and machine uptime. So all of these would be there in something which we very commonly associate with a shovel or an excavator in a mining sector. So when we talk about engine, it's going to be the low viscometrics engine oil. And if I have to just, this is not a very technical session, so I will not get into those. But viscometrics basically means the resistance to flow. So if you have a thicker oil, you can imagine very well, there will be a lot of more resistance and more fuel will be burned. So if we can give you the same durability, so that your equipments do not get damaged with a lower viscometrics, means oil which is much thinner, yet durable, you will have efficiency. And in engines, it is fuel economy. In hydraulics, there's a concept in which we found that if you use a very high viscosity index fluid, now viscosity index is something which is related to temperature. Viscosity and temperature relationship is defined as viscosity index. So if I use a oil with a high viscosity index, we need to have a polymer inside it. I'm giving out some additive details, but not more than that. The polymer has to be shear stable, so that as your machines operate, they do not get sheared away and broken away. If that happens, there will be permanent drop in viscosity, and your equipments will suffer damage. So it is not only the initial high viscosity index which has been offered, it is the high viscosity index but with a shear stable polymer. We talked about viscosity index in the previous slide. So this slide basically just shows you the relationship of viscosity on the y-axis and temperature on the x-axis. You can see here, on the x-axis cold to hot, and the y-axis from thin to thick. So the line which is having a lesser slope is the one which we are discussing here, high viscosity index. So as you can see here, the benefits are on both sides. In the sense, when it is hot, the oil is thicker, okay? But since it is thicker than the other oil, there is less leakages in the pump, and therefore it delivers more power. So we call it volumetric efficiency. Your pump volumetric efficiency goes up. But if you see on the when it is cold, that time what happens? The oil is quite thin and not thick as the conventional oil would be. So there is less friction and it is quicker start. So again you gain there, so that would be mechanical efficiency. So both the efficiencies together is the overall hydraulic pump efficiency. So we have done something which has actually helped increase the pump efficiency, and we found that a good shear stable polymer and a high VI hydraulic fluid can significantly increase the efficiency and productivity of your equipments. We don't say it just based on theory. We have done trials in field, and we have found that when compared to a conventional fluid, that is a low viscosity index product, let us say a viscosity index of 95, 115, sort of viscosity index, you use a very high VI fluids like 170, 180 sort of, the differences really come out significantly. And we are talking about hardcore data to establish these things. We are not talking about just the theory and the inferences based on the theory. We have put data loggers on board your equipments. We have measured fuel flow actually, in the sense what is actually burned, and the influx and the reflux of the fuel we have measured. We have measured the temperatures, we have measured the pressures, and after that, we have seen, these are some graphs to make you understand how detailed data work was done to give you the feeling and give you that sense of confidence that yes, it is based on some sort of a high-tech research and the field trial, where you can see here on the left-hand side below that in the red, the graph shows the different scoops of a loading by a shovel or excavator into a truck. So this is a completely let's say 100-ton truck being loaded by a shovel or excavator, and these peaks shows the different scoops. So to be very precise, 9 scoops here. And on the right-hand side, we are comparing, the full day. If you just accumulate the whole pressure readings for the whole day and not one truck loading, you will find that in the new oil, the operator does not always face the problem of higher pressures. Means when the work is finally been done, it is the peak pressure that is there, but not the other times. So that helps to improve the durability of the equipments also. So this is also something which was found. This is one example where you can see the quicker truck loading which we were talking about. You see here 144 seconds, 122 seconds. It's just one data to give you an idea, like what sort of improvements we are talking about. So just by changing your hydraulic oils, you can reduce your carbon footprint. We are talking about efficiency here, fuel efficiency. We are talking about productivity improvements. So we are talking about, some sort of a time efficiency here, trip efficiency here. So this is something which I think is giving customers a lot of value, and customers are adopting. I was hearing in the previous session, it was been talked about that whatever matters to customer, it finally gets bought. This is an example of that exactly. It matters to customer that cost must be lower, and therefore it is being bought with or without OEM credentials. But if you see here, reduce fuel consumption, increase productivity, and saving cost. So what is there for customer, not to want? They want all of them. But I will just share with you, it's not limiting only with customers. We have approached OEMs also, different OEMs also. They are the few certificates which we have generated. Customers across India are using it. Tata gave us one award under Innovation Award. It's an innovative product for them. So, and they have this annual summit for all Tata Group of companies. For that, they gave Indian Oil this award, recognition, for this fluid efficient, fuel efficient hydraulic oils. We have done trials in Coal India mines also. So we are talking about real field trials, not in any very controlled environment. Okay, and the other customers. Okay, I talked about two products, so I did discuss one, and the second one is related to reducing your NOx and helping you reduce the NOx. I know it's the engine technology people who are doing it with the SCR coming in, but you need something, diesel exhaust fluid, which is the product which is needed to help reduce the NOx. So just a few slides on where we are today. How are we placed, as you can rightly put it. See, I am very, I would say like India, is in, and it can be very well seen here. We are very well placed globally. When we talk about, the adoption of the latest emission norms, we are really very well placed. On the left-hand side top, you can see US, Canada, Japan, European Union, and India, they are all from 2020 are moving into BS6. So we are really jumping to that league here. And if you on the right-hand side, it is one of the slides which I really like to share. The table or the figure I want to discuss here is that if you see the NOx and the particulate matter, which are most important for diesel exhaust, if you see here where we were, BS stage 1, and from there we have come to that green area. You see that whole matrix has reduced to just that green small area. So when we talk about emissions, from these two particular areas, it is really drastically falling. On the left-hand side, the chart here talks about the sulfur content in the fuel. And if you see here, we are talking about 10,000 ppm in 1995. From 10,000 ppm, it came down to 5,000 ppm. From there, it became, you see here, 2,500 ppm, 500 ppm, 350 ppm, 50 ppm, and 10 ppm now. So you see the improvement which has really happened in sulfur and the quality of the fuel. So you should be really feeling at least nice about this, that yes, we are living in time where people or the companies are all, stakeholders are all sensitive to your requirement. These images also show the emissions, particularly with particulate matter and NOx. But now when it comes to construction equipment vehicles, or as they call it, the non-road Bharat stage, or in another way it is called TREM. So TREM 3A is in force now, but TREM 4 and 5 is the scenario which you are staring at. So when we talk about these two emission norms, we find that the whole focus is on reducing the particulate matter. You see here, from the 4 and 5, the main change is, number one, is that it talks about emission norms for even smaller engines. And second, it talks about reducing the particulate matter substantially. Okay, now how do you do it? NOx, how do you reduce it? We all know diesel engines normally would run hotter because of the lean air to fuel mixture ratio which they have, means more oxygen is there. So whatever flame is there, it will burn much hotter. The high combustion ratio is also a factor. The excess oxygen is also a factor. But whatever it is, this all leads to creation of more NOx in a diesel engine. Now you have this SCR technology, selective catalytic reduction technology, to take care of this NOx. On the right hand side, you have one very small diagrammatic representation of the fact that NOx get converted into the nitrogen, which is again harmless, through this catalytic converter, and we have this IUC clear blue as a product. So what is exactly this? I will discuss with you in this slide. This is basically it's a aqueous urea solution, we call it actually. People call it by different names, but it is actually aqueous urea solution. We sell fuels which are mineral oils, which is generated from natural, you can say, sources, but here we are talking about urea here. We have to handle urea, and this urea by 32.5% weight put in DM water, and as a solution, this is supplied to the points where it will be used in containers, different containers. But since it can corrode, the idea is to have plastic or stainless steel tank wherever possible, and the injection rates are such that we see a huge volume or the huge requirement coming forward from April 2020 onwards. So to basically understand the basic theory behind it, it is the urea which is getting decomposed into ammonia, and this ammonia actually reacts with the different NOx, NO2 or NO, and this gets converted into nitrogen. So the product which is going to help you do this is IUC Clear Blue. It is going to be made available to large institutional customers at their point of operation, like mines and others. And it will also be available in our retail outlet, petrol pump, which are spread across the country, which you are very well aware of. And it will be available in containers like demonstrated here. So we are also working to get approvals from different OEMs. We have already signed with Cummins engine. So Cummins as an OEM, they have already tied up with us. So very shortly, as the things roll out, we are all prepared for it. Thank you.